All right, let's talk about a literary masterpiece that history forgot. Or, well, a history that never actually was. We're diving into Henoch, what could have been Goethe's other, even darker, magnum opus.
I mean, just think about that for a second. If you've ever wrestled with false steel with the devil, just imagine another story, another kind of bargain that pushes the limits of human ambition way, way further, not just on Earth, but out into the cosmos. So here's the setup for our thought experiment. Deep in the archives of this alternate, mystical, super-advanced Prussian Empire, a manuscript suddenly surfaces, and it seems to be a play written by Goethe himself, a work that mashes up his genius with a truly forbidden ancient text.
So what exactly are we looking at here? Well, it's this incredible fusion of the Faust legend we all know and the apocryphal, and let's be honest, much weirder Book of Enoch. This is where Goethe decides to go cosmic.
So let's meet our protagonist, Henoch. He's this brilliant Prussian scholar, but just like Faust, he's hit a wall. Science, reason, it's just not cutting it for him anymore. He is desperate for the ultimate truths, the very blueprints of creation itself. And this is all happening against the backdrop of an empire that's obsessed with both industry and the occult. Okay, now we get to the real heart of the story, the Pact. And this is where things take a huge turn from the Faust we're used to. See, Henoch isn't bargaining for worldly pleasure or power over other people. No, he's bargaining for pure, absolute knowledge. Just try to picture this scene. Henoch is in his study, surrounded by all the greatest scientific books of his time, and he just feels empty. So he pushes aside his charts and his formulas, and he opens a much, much more dangerous text, the Forbidden Book of Enoch. He's not trying to summon some trickster demon, he's looking for a teacher.
And this is such a key distinction, right? Faust's ambition, as big as it was still fundamentally human-sized. He wanted to experience everything life on Earth had to offer. But Henoch, his ambition is completely metaphysical. He wants to understand the heavens, the secret gears that make the entire universe tick.
And that brings us to their tempters, which are just as different. Mephistopheles is this cynical, witty guide to all of human foolishness. But Azazel, who comes straight from the Book of Enoch, he's something else entirely. He's a fallen angel, this majestic, beautiful being who doesn't offer a tour of taverns and parties, but offers the actual keys to the universe. For a seeker like Henoch, that is a way more seductive offer.
So, the pact is sealed and Henoch starts his journey. But this is no grand tour of Europe. This is an odyssey straight through the fabric of creation itself. And believe me, it is as terrifying as it is enlightening.
So instead of visiting earthly cities, Azazel takes Henoch through the realms that are actually described in the Book of Enoch. He goes down into Sheol, the land of the dead. He travels through the cosmic fires that move the stars, and he goes up to the very pillars of the earth. This isn't knowledge you get from a book. This is knowledge you earn through a spiritual, otherworldly journey.
And here is the gut punch, the central tragic irony of the whole play. Henoch genuinely believes that this divine knowledge will elevate humanity. His intentions are noble. But Azazel, with this cruel, cold clarity, shows him visions of how every single secret he learns, metallurgy, astronomy, chemistry, is immediately twisted by mankind into a better, more efficient way to kill each other.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Goethe tragedy without a doomed romance. Henoch falls in love with a woman named Sophia, which, means wisdom. But his quest for this forbidden wisdom turns him into an outcast, and she gets destroyed just for being associated with him. His cosmic ambition has a devastatingly human cost, just like it did for Faust's poor Gretchen.
So this whole tragic journey, it's all building toward the play's central theme. Henoch isn't just some cosmic fantasy. It's a direct, sharp critique of Goethe's own time. It's a warning aimed squarely at the industrializing, power-hungry Prussian state. This table just lays it out perfectly. The ancient, forbidden knowledge that the fallen angels taught in the Book of Enoch is presented as a direct parallel to the brand-new technologies of the 19th century. Metallurgy becomes the out-of-control industrial revolution, which leads to better cannons and rifles. The search for cosmic secrets leads to hubris. It's this powerful allegory for the dangers of progress when you don't have a conscience.
And Goethe uses this absolutely stunning metaphor. See, in the Book of Enoch, the fallen angels and human women created the Nephilim, a race of giants who just destroyed the earth. In this play, the Prussian factories and war machines are the new artificial giants, monstrous creations of knowledge and steel that are threatening to corrupt the world all over again.
So, after all this cosmic horror and this deep social critique, how does it end? Is Henoch just damned for his ambition? Well, in a move that is pure Goethe, the answer is a big, resounding no.
You have to remember, the original Faust legend was basically a simple cautionary tale. You make a deal with the devil, you go to hell. The end. But Goethe's philosophy was so much more complex, so much more human. For him, the very act of questioning, of struggling, of aiming high, even if you make terrible, terrible mistakes along the way, that's what makes us noble.
And the key to understanding this entire ending is this one German word, streben. It doesn't just mean to try. It's this deep, relentless, soul-level striving and yearning. It's that constant effort to be more, to know more. And for Goethe, this very act of streben is itself a kind of prayer that actually deserves salvation.
So in the final act, Henoch sees all the destruction his knowledge has caused, and he completely rejects Azazel's cynical, nihilistic view of humanity. He chooses hope over despair. And because of that relentless striving, that streben, divine grace steps in. He's lifted up into the celestial realm he always wanted to see, not as a master who stole its secrets, but as a redeemed soul who is finally worthy of understanding.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty big question for our own time, doesn't it? Henoch's story was a warning about the Industrial Revolution. As we're grappling with AI, genetic engineering, technologies that feel just as world-changing, we have to ask ourselves, what is our forbidden fruit? And is our striving, our streben, leading us toward salvation or toward destruction?